What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the morning movie chat. I am your host, Trinity. Thank you all so much for being here today. As man, we are going into the Friday already. We're almost here at the weekend. Well, I guess we're here at the week's end anyway. And it's gonna be going into the weekend. And I hope you're all having a very good week so far. I know my week has been pretty busy. It was just a bunch of stuff and getting ready, to head into the weekend here. Gonna go watch Bad Boys 2 this weekend, and then I believe on Tuesday, this time I'm not gonna forget. On Tuesday, we're gonna have a very special guest here in LB from the Lonely Banter. We're gonna get together here on the morning movie chat, and we're gonna talk about Bad Boys, or I guess it's Bad Boys 3, Bad Boys 3. That's right, Bad Boys 3, Bad Boys for Life. They're doing some weird wordplay there, but yeah, we're gonna go see that this weekend, and not together. Like I don't live anywhere. Like we live clear across the country from each other. Otherwise, hey, we'd probably do that and then do a review right afterward. But he will be here on the channel on Tuesday. It should be on Tuesday. And matter of fact, he was supposed to be on here this Tuesday, and like I committed to that like late night, and that's really no excuse. But I completely forgot, and I lately LB's been upset with me, and he's been trying to cancel Second Street. We got a street phobe, folks. Yeah, we got a street phobe. But it's all good, man. I actually feel really bad that I forgot to bring LB on the show on Tuesday. We're going to sit down and just have a conversation about some of the things going on out there in the movie world, and I completely forgot. And man, that's just bad on me. That's bad on me. But anyway, guys, I hope you're having a good morning. Let's go ahead and see who all is here this morning. We got AFK Bard, one of our new recent let me see here, where can we one of our new recent Patreon supporters. So welcome AFK Bard. Don Draper, thank you so much for being here. Perp Minded is here. Let's see who else we got. Fanjecture is here as well. I hope you're all having a very good morning. And one thing that I want to let you guys know, in case you guys don't already know, every single Friday night at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I do a show called The Trailer Park Live, and that's where I start off the show by talking about some of the comic books that I pulled for the week, and then we get in and dive and talk. I interact with you all to talk about some of the topics throughout the weekend. And you know what, guys? I have a feeling tonight might be another fun episode you guys might not want to miss. We got several things we're going to talk about tonight on the Trailer Park Live. One of them has to do with Captain Marvel 2. I'm not sure if you guys have been hearing this news, but we talked about Captain Marvel 2 earlier this week. We're gonna be talking a little bit about that. We're gonna talk about some comic books, of course, and maybe we're gonna also talk about people. That's right. We're going to talk about people out there in the world. Can you imagine that? We're going to talk about people, a YouTuber talking about other people out there in the world. That's what we're going to do. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very fun. We got some things that have happened this week that we're going to sink our teeth into, just like it was a nice warm ribeye that just got seared on the grill and has a lot of nice pink in the middle. It's going to be great. We're going to serve it up with some stir-fry rice. It's going to be a good time, folks. I can guarantee you that. It's going to be a little bit spicy, I think. And, maybe we'll see if there's somebody that we can bring on to the show. I largely procrastinated, but I had somebody I want to reach out to see if they're able to come on to the show tonight. I think it could be very, very interesting. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into what everybody's saying here this morning. And one of the things we want to talk about today, I'll go ahead and set it up, is so we can get this conversation started. Is, have you guys heard this news about Taika Waititi is in talks and possibly negotiations? I think it's just in talks as of this point to come in to the Star Wars universe and direct a Star Wars movie. Not just a TV show like he did with The Mandalorian, but an actual full-fledged film for the Star Wars universe. What do you guys think about that? Let's get that conversation started down in the comments below, and then we'll get into just a little bit more. Okay, so let's see. We got AFK Bard says, "Good morning, I'm here on time today. I'm sick, but it gives me a reason to sit in front of my computer. Entertain me." Just kidding. Well, I'll do my best. Definitely tonight. Hopefully tonight should be really entertaining. Don Draper says, "I didn't ask for much for my birthday. Just Miss Betty White to still be alive. My ex-girlfriend, who shares the same birthday, not to contact me, and no more Star Wars movies to be developed. Yes, and yeah, I was gonna say I believe Betty White is still with us, and hey, that's that's a good thing. She's one of the last good ones left. You know what I mean? My ex girlfriend who shares the same birthday, not to contact me. Hopefully she didn't contact you. If yeah, at that point, depending on how you feel, it's hard to say if even a happy birthday does any good. And no more Star Wars movies to be developed. Well, Don, I guess hopefully you got two out of those three because they're definitely going to be producing more Star Wars movies. Matter of fact, I've got a good friend of mine, Ryan, over at Nerdy Blurb TV, is currently working on a video with, where he gets together with different content creators and we all submit videos, kind of building hype for movies to come. The first two were involving one of them. Was getting ready to go into Avengers Endgame and kind of building the hype for that. And then the one after that was after Avengers Endgame, but before Spider-Man Far From Home. Then the Fandom Initiative Part 3 was actually our kind of like our Skywalker experience going into Rise of Skywalker and just how we felt going into that, prior to the movie being released. And now this last one he's getting ready to do so far is going to be the Fandom Initiative Part 4, where we're all going to be talking about what has happened and what we want to see in the future of Star Wars films. So make sure you go check out Nerdy Blurb TV and get subscribed to his channel and get ready for that. I know I submitted my video last Saturday. It might have been last Sunday. Maybe I was a day late. Hopefully you got my email, Ryan. I haven't heard back from you yet, but I'm guessing you did. But make sure you go check that out. Just because there's already rumors flying around out there about what they're going to be doing. So Pert Minus says, "Yerp, what's up, Pert?" Don Draper says, "I got two. Okay, two out of three of those so far. Okay, well, I guess that's a good thing. Yeah, the Star Wars is it's happening." AFK Bar says, "I wasn't certain. I had no idea if B&W was dead or not. Black Widow was dead or not. She's kinda really old. Black Widow is, yeah, I guess so. Oh, Betty White. Okay, yeah, okay, Betty White. I was thinking Black Widow. I'm like, okay, yeah. Had no idea if Betty White is dead or not. She's kind of really old. Yeah, she is getting pretty up there. And you know what? She's still funny, man. She's still funny. Brad AFK Bar says, "Huh?" Alexa says she's alive in 98. Yikes, man, 98. That's not bad. I believe George Burns lived to be into his hundreds. Did he not? I could be wrong, and he always had his stogie with him. You know what I mean? And if anybody remembers George Burns, kind of shows my age that I do. Don Draper says, AFK Bard, "Well, she is my golden girl and she looks younger than I feel." I totally hear you, man. I hear you. AFK Bard says, "She is insanely young looking considering she's two away from a century." Absolutely. Absolutely, she does. I mean, she does still look pretty good for the age she is. All the good ones age like wine. Yes. Don Draper says, AFK Bard, "She's 4 decades younger than Jim Carrey. We are all born on the 17th. Nice. I like Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's a good actor, and some people think he's a little bit crazy, and sometimes maybe he is a little bit crazy, but I like him. AFK Bart says 58 is Jim Carrey. Nice. Oh, right, 4 older. You confused me there for a second. Fanjexture, thank you so much for being here. Hey, man, if you guys haven't checked out Fanjexture, go check out his channel. Doing some really interactive stuff over there with the viewers and things on Tuesdays. It was really fun on this Tuesday. I seen he had a few more people there on his channel. Probably just getting out there and interacting with people on other channels and stuff to hopefully bring some attention to his channel. And guys, that's how you do it. If you're a YouTube content creator and you want to get more people to your channel, the best thing to do is go out there and interact with people on other channels. Be that on their live streams, just like Fanjexture has been here, or even just commenting in their videos. The most important thing is to add value to people's experience here on YouTube. If you're here on a live chat, add value to others out there viewing by, interacting in the comments, being cool, having fun. Nothing worse out there than seeing one of the, a new upcoming YouTuber that gets on there like somebody's been doing on my video saying, "Hey, great video. Would you like to be YouTube friends?" It's just weird. It's just weird. You know what I mean? Like, YouTube friends, like, Most of my YouTube friends I met here on YouTube by, interacting in their comment sections, getting to know them. Maybe we cross paths on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. Like, hey, this person's actually all right. You start interacting more. So you reach out, you do a collaboration, you have fun, you kind of make friends. You don't just drop in there and say, hey, great video. I didn't watch it. Want to be YouTube friends? Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird, man. People are weird, man. Because I've had somebody doing that on my videos lately, like, "Hey, you want to be YouTube friends?" So I've just been asking them, "Did you watch the video?" But yeah, Fanjexture, definitely a cool channel you guys might want to go check out. Dylan's Comic Book Rants, thank you so much for being here. Dylan says, Comic fam, what up? Yes, I'm misguided. Thank you so much for being here. Says Ribeye. Soy Based Jeremy says, America. Certainly. Tommy, the hardest working mod on YouTube. How you doing? Social Introvert TV. How are you doing? Everybody saying what's up. Wookiee Supremacy. Good morning, true believers. Sir Nerdalot. Hello. How are you doing? Captain Pennsylvania says, please, not Taika. Eli Gray, thank you so much for being here. Eli Gray has been a recent supporter here of the channel. Been contacting him on Twitter, having some conversations. Seems like a very good guy, and thank you so much for being here, Eli. Eli says, popping in to say hi, everyone. My dad is having cancer surgery today, but Trinity, the community, and the channel, here's a positive way to start the day. Catch you next stream. All right, man. Eli, good luck to your father with his surgery today. With that, I know that can be a tough thing. Definitely a scary thing. But you know what, Eli, just to you and your father, you know what? Don't give up hope. These days, with modern treatments, modern medicines, and everything, it's possible to beat that cancer. I have a good friend. You should go look her up on Facebook or even Instagram. That is at Hair Hunter. Hair Hunter, yeah, like bounty hunter, but Hair Hunter. Go look her up. She's an amazing young lady. She survived ovarian cancer and all, like her body got pretty. I mean, she was pretty wrecked, man, and she had a hard time. But you know what? She bounced back, and now she fights for life every single day, and she's an absolutely awesome person, and she's a hairdresser, and she does some of the best looks that I have seen any hairdresser do. You should definitely make sure that you go check her out. And again, once again, good luck to you and your father today, Eli Gray. Hope everything goes well. And make sure you check back and let us know how all that goes. I know that it's a little bit personal at the same time too, but you can always give us a thumbs up or let us know how everything is doing. Sweet Bitch Jeremy says, Wookie still want a pickled smoke still? Oh no, I must have missed something there. Social Introvert TV says, not really feeling Taika. It would be cool if Deborah Chow was doing this. Yeah, the thing with Deborah Chow is she don't really have any film experience, which she could get it with the Star Wars movie. I think she should probably cut her teeth on something else smaller first, but she does have the experience in Star Wars. She directed probably like 2 of my favorite episodes of The Mandalorian. I think she could do a really great job, but let's not forget that she will be busy with the Obi-Wan show getting ready to come up on Disney Plus here. Is that later this year, next year? So she's going to be pretty busy with that, especially with a young director like that. Just getting into this, you don't want to pile too much on their plates, but I do think that she would definitely be a viable candidate so far that we know for a movie, definitely in the future. Definitely. Wookiee Supremacy says, Soy-Based Jeremy says, wait, there's another Soy-Based Jeremy? I honestly don't know. I don't know. Wookiee Supremacy says apathy for the corpse of Star Wars, Tommy. That's what's up. I must have missed something there earlier. Captain Pennsylvania says, Eli, sending love, bro. Yes, much love. I'm sure all of us are feeling for you, man, and I'm sure all of us are going to be in your father's corner as you go through that. Kenneth Cohen, thank you so much for being here. Did I miss... I was gonna say, I know dipped out a few minutes earlier from the Den of Nerds live. I know, I'm sure you were over there on that earlier, Ken. I turned it on and I was listening to it as I was getting the kids ready for school and taking them to school and everything. Which Josh over there at the Den of Nerds has been doing the Den of Nerds live every single morning here over this past week. I think, did he miss yesterday maybe? But he's starting to do more live videos, getting some people on there. Today he had Den of Nerds executive producer Ryan H on there with him today, and they were talking about some of the same things that we're going to be talking about today, which is Star Wars. And believe me, I wish we were done talking about Star Wars. I do. We're in Marvel season. This is Marvel season, man. Um, Wookiee Supremacist says, Waititi can R that dead horse. I don't give a F anymore. Yeah, I mean, I hear you. At least she's getting Kenobi. I'm okay with that, says Social Introvert TV. Yes, indeed. Indeed. I'm True Skills. Thank you so much for being here this morning. I hope you're having a good day. You guys should go, if you guys want some more different. The thing is, like, when it comes to movie reviews, sometimes it gets a little bit old, but comic reviews and comic commentary and things like that are always nice to get a whole lot of different people's opinions on them. I'm True Skills has been doing some videos, and he's doing pretty good videos. I like just how he presents them and things like that. You know, it's always nice to see because we all kind of do it a little bit different. And I Am True Skills is doing a good job over there. You guys should go make sure that you check him out. And you don't have to tell him I sent you or anything. He knows. He just needs some traction, man, and he's doing a pretty good job over there. And that horse is decomposing, says Soy Base Jeremy. They're pulling a train on it with Crazy KK and Ruin Johnson. Yeah, I mean, there's been ups, there's been downs. It just depends on who you are. Me overall, like, the sequel trilogy, I'm not, completely disappointed in it. There are things about it that I would love to see improved, but hey, it's all behind us now. It's all behind us now. Well, kind of, kind of. Tommy says, Captain Pennsylvania, not much. Hope all is well. I'm True Skill says, yo, hear that Christian Bale is playing Norman Osborn. I have not heard that. I'll have to go look that up. Maybe that's something we can talk about a little bit later tonight on the Trailer Park Live. Metaphorical is here. Thank you so much for being here. Says, you don't Metaphorical says, you don't want to be YouTube friends? Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Of course I do. With cool people. With cool people that come here on the shows and interact and have a good time. Not with just some guy out there who's trying to build his channel and just comes on here and says like, hey, you have no idea who I am. Wanna be friends? Yeah, no. Stop being so creepy first, and then maybe we can move there amicably. Don Draper says, at Social Introvert TV, I heard people bitching about Jar Jar making a possible comeback on that series. I think it's great. I don't want Chuck Wendig having the last word on the character. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, I think Jar Jar. Jar Jar is. You can even ask. Wookiee Supremacy here is one of the most important characters, one of the most pivotal characters in the Star Wars universe. So him getting some dues is definitely something that needs to be done. I missed Comics on the Mind. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you're having a good day. Let's see. Social Introvert TV says, at Don Draper, blah, blah, blah. I always liked Jar Jar. I never cared for others' opinions on him. I hope we get to see him. Yeah, I'd like to see Jar Jar back. I mean, at least, see what happened to his character at some point. Soybase Jeremy says, yeah, War Games was about tense moments during the Cold War. I loved it. Yeah, War Games was a good movie. Man, I haven't watched that in a while, but I do know War Games is definitely a good movie. It looks like Eli Gray. We got a lot of people here on your side, man. We got a lot of people here wishing well for you and your father. Hopefully, everything does go okay with that. Wookiee Supremacist says Trump was busy building the New York City skyline during the Cold War. Indeed, I hear you. According to my source, it does. It's called pulling a card out of your ass. I must have missed something here, man. That Obi-Wan better have lightsabers. Yes, we definitely need some lightsabers here going on. Okay, guys, so let's see. The one thing, that we were talking about is, yes, Taika Waititi is being sought out to, possibly in talks to come in and direct a Star Wars movie. Now, I gotta tell you guys, I'm not really all about that life. Like, I like Star Wars. I grew up loving Star Wars and everything like that. But, like, I want to see... what I want to see out of Star Wars is, and I think we were talking about this the other day, is I want to see them go into like the future talking about the past. I want them to go in and make a movie talking about, more about the Jedi lore, learning about where the Jedis come from, about, the Sith, where the Sith come from and how all of that came about, the discourse between the building up of the Force sensitives and then, of course, the division between them. Because, this is something that I think is important for the Star Wars universe, I would definitely love to see that. Like the origins of the Jedi and the Sith, because obviously they're tied together, because you don't get to the Sith without having the Jedi. You know what I mean? Like they were probably all for a bunch of Force sensitives that started coming together, saying, "Hey, like hey." Like we use this stuff to hopefully better our lives and those around us. Something that I think a lot of people do, and then eventually there obviously becomes some sort of division between all of the different people there, be it philosophical, be it political, or anything like that, which politics would kind of play into their philosophies as well. I think it would be great to see that kind of an origin story of just seeing that. Maybe even some backstories about like just like the Senate, and just how all of those came to be. I guess like the government side of it. I think that would be something interesting to explore. In the context of some Star Wars films, because really largely we through these first three trilogies, it's been focusing on the Skywalker saga and the Skywalkers and all that stuff. And there's so much more great lore out there, more great characters to be told. I'm quite sure. Like recently with the Mandalorian, we kind of learned a little bit about Mando and all the Mandalorians and just that kind of stuff. I think that would even be some interesting stories to tell as well, about how the bounty hunters, the Mandalorians, came to be, and about their rise of prominence and why they are so sought out, and just some of that lore as well. I think would be something definitely cool to be explored in the Star Wars universe. But I guess the real question ultimately is Taika Waititi somebody that you want to see directing a Star Wars film? And I got to tell you, Taika Waititi is a good director. He's come out proven himself in some of these films that he's done. Admittedly, I haven't seen a whole lot of them, but just from what I have seen, as far as like Thor Ragnarok, from what I've heard about Jojo Rabbit, and even seeing what I've seen with the two episodes that he did of The Mandalorian. He's a good director. He's certainly done. Paid his dues and things like that, and his comeuppance as of recent. And it's not like he's been around forever. He's a somewhat newer person on the scene, and he's doing a pretty good job. I think he has a great eye for filmmaking. Now, when it comes to the writing and stuff like that, I kind of feel a little bit differently here, because while I like Thor Ragnarok, it's probably the best of the Thor movies that have come out. And I was talking the other day, I do like Thor: The Dark World as well. The way the comedy plays in Thor Ragnarok, it works out. It works out for Thor Ragnarok. I think he did a good job with that, because Thor had been kind of, I don't know. It's really hard to say with the background of Thor. He kind of, Chris Hemsworth himself kind of grew in his acting chops a little bit and being a little more comedic. But I thought the comedy and everything that they brought in with Thor Ragnarok played quite well in that movie and in that universe. I think it was very well done. But then when we get into Star Wars, you go and you watch those episodes of The Mandalorian that he did, especially that last episode. I think a lot of people feel the same way. As the comedy, it just don't work for me. The comical aspects of it, the way the comedy is written, the way it's kind of done. I don't know. To me, it just doesn't fit in the Star Wars universe. It has something to do with just like the same thing I've talked about here in Star Wars: The Last Jedi. How the movie opens up with Poe arriving there at that dreadnought, and he's sitting there trying to have a conversation with General Hux and everything, and he gets there and he's having this whole slapsticky kind of sarcastic exchange with General Hux. And I'm just sitting there, like, for one, when I first saw that movie, even the first time I saw that movie at the theater, I remember sitting there kind of like, I'm not really into this. Like, I like this kind of humor. Like, it's great. It plays awesome in a TV show like The Office. It's funny. Like you see Dwight and Michael sitting there going at each other, in there, maybe Jim, tossing some of that humor in there. Maybe Creed, Creed delivering some of these kind of lines like that, these funny kind of sarcastic lines, just really good stuff, something that would play well in a Judd Apatow movie. But I gotta say, it doesn't work for me in Star Wars. I didn't like seeing it in The Last Jedi. Like I said, the movie opens up just like that, and I'm kind of like, I don't really like this. It doesn't play well in this universe. Just that's not what I'm used to. You know what I mean? That's not really what I'm used to. And so I wasn't really into that. You know what I mean? Like when I seen that in The Last Jedi, that was like one of the first things that stood out to me the first time I watched the movie. That I was really kind of like, ah. I don't really like that humor in the Star Wars universe. And then we go into the Mandalorian and we see what he did there. And I'm kind of sitting there watching like while it was funny. Once again, I seen the humor there and everything. I'm kind of like, it just doesn't really play that well in the Star Wars universe for me. And I'm not saying that they can't be funny in the Star Wars universe, that they can't be sarcastic in the Star Wars universe. Harrison Ford seemed to pull that off quite well in the original trilogy with, because he was somewhat of a smartass. I can't really say that he was necessarily sarcastic so much, but he was kind of a smartass. He was wisecracking and things like that. He added a sort of comical humor to it, but not really in a sense to pull out a bunch of laughs from you, to try to go out there and try to be funny. To me, I think that's one bad thing when we go into a movie or something like that and you see that people are actually trying to be funny. Not being funny. Being funny is fine, but trying to be funny. You know what I mean? Trying to be comical. There, do or do not. There is no try. Am I right? Huh? And that's the thing that kind of don't work for me with that is the trying to be funny aspects of it. It just doesn't seem to work. It didn't work for me in The Last Jedi, and it didn't work for me in that last episode of The Mandalorian. And I'm not saying that it's not funny. I'm not saying that it's not funny. I'm just saying it doesn't work for me in that realm, in that aspect of what they're doing within the confines of the film and even that TV show. It just didn't work for me. It was a little off kilter, just threw me off a little bit. But that's how I feel about it. Let me know how you guys feel about that down in the comments below, because like I said, Taika Waititi, he is a good director. He knows what he's doing behind a camera. Maybe not leave writing duties up to him. I don't know. Maybe you have him not write it. That could work. Have somebody else write the script and everything. Maybe he adapts it and goes there. But like, I don't want to see Star Wars go the funny slapstick route. It works in the MCU, certainly. It certainly works in the MCU. But again, for Star Wars, to me, it just doesn't quite cut it. But again, that could just be me. But let's go ahead and get in here and see what you all think about that. Soybase Jeremy says, I plan on to make a Twitter account and infiltrate SJWs and start doing this shit, then reverse the narrative. Yeah, okay. Imagine that. That's an original thing to do on Twitter. Wookiee Supremacy says, internet friends are better than ones in real life because I can just close the window and they don't exist anymore. Right? That's funny. Comics on the Mind says, War Games is a classic. Yes, it is. It is. Very much is. Soybase Jeremy says, they thought I was trolling Jeremy, but others who read my comments know... no. Oh, I know what's up. Okay. AFK Bar says, hope he stays with the Mandalorian. Oh, as far as Taika Waititi, yeah. I was gonna say like I said, to me, his comedy, just the way he does like the comedy in it, it's just it just doesn't work for me. Not to say he's not a great filmmaker, because so far I think he's proven to do that. Max Santiago, thank you so much for being here. Captain Pennsylvania says, Star Wars doesn't need his humor, it needs good stories. Absolutely, 100% agree with you there. That yeah, we need good stories. That's where we need to start off at. We need movies that don't have to be so large scale, so big and grandiose. Go back and watch the original Star Wars trilogy. Like a lot of stuff happens in there, and it's not like big spectacle, like ooh, oh my god, like oh look at all these cool graphics and everything on screen. There's these really great, really intense fighter battles, in space, with the TIE fighters, like the A-wings, the X-wings. It's not there. They have some pretty cool battles, but they're not really big and grand scale and just like this huge spectacle, which is kind of what JJ did when he started The Force Awakens. Like it was kind of more big, it was more action packed, it was more, it had to be like a big, it had to be like an 80. That's exactly what it was. Remember, like them crazy over the top 80s action flicks, going into the 90s, how they were like this large spectacle, you know what I mean? Like it was no longer just Dirty Harry. You know what I mean? It had to be big and grand. It's all been Michael Bayized. It's all Michael Bay's fault for going and making things all big spectacle. It's all your fault, Michael Bay. All your fault. And now it's pouring in to other films, and it's being done by people like you, Michael Bay, by people like Taika Waititi, by people like J.J. Abrams. Yes, that's something bad. Like these films that are too large scale and everything. To me, that's kind of where Star Wars kind of went wrong in this new trilogy. Is kind of being big. You know, go watch the original trilogy. They're just really scaled down. They're just small stories about a kid, you know, whose father's been missing. He wants to go join. You know, he wants to get off his planet. You know what I mean? He wants to go. He wants to go be part of the war against the Empire and things like that. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a small story about a kid who had aspirations. You know what I mean? It's Remember the Titans in space. You know, it's just that's all it is. It's just like really nice, kind of down to Tatooine films. You know what I mean? Where, you know, you fast forward to the sequel trilogy and it's all these big explosions, big Michael Bay eyes, just bleh. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need that. We need stories, like, especially once you get into the Last Jedi. Even the Last Jedi kind of had its parts where it slowed down, but then you get into the Rise of Skywalker, and it's just like Avengers Endgame. It's just like go 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 go. It runs at this breakneck pace, and it's like, whoa, man, like, can you slow down for a little bit and let us catch our breath and let us kind of take in what's going on and tell some story, give us some dialogue to go along with all this action, because the action is all pointless if we don't know what got us there, why we're doing it, or anything like that. And to me, that's something that's important. And with Taika Waititi, I don't need a whole lot of comedy to get me there neither. I just want good stories, well written, that are down to earth, or down to Tatooine in this place. And, you know, just like something fun, you know, that like I can have fun at, my kids can have fun at. We're gonna have fun watching it. You know what I mean? I get to catch my breath. It's not all super meaningful stuff. It's just a story. You know what I mean? It's just a story. And that's not what we're getting right now. And that's what we need to get back to, I feel, with Star Wars. It doesn't have to be big and over the top action and stuff like that. You know, it just doesn't have to be all that. It doesn't have to be all that. Max Santiago says, oh, okay, he's saying hello to everybody. Okay. Let's see, AFK Bard, Soy-Based Jeremy says, at Wookiee Supremacy, yeah, master of reverse card, and yes, I am. Been around since August of 2016. Okay, I must have missed something there, but okay. AFK Bard says, we could have a slapstick comedy where Palpatine dies in every episode, like Kenny in South Park. All right? That's a Taika Waititi movie right there. Max Santiago says, Tommy, good morning. Day off for me. Waiting while I download updates for Witcher 3. Nice. I haven't watched The Witcher yet, but I've heard a lot of people say that it's really good. Aggressively Relaxing says, the hardest part about being the only person who watches and reads Star Wars content is listening to people claiming they want things that have already been made. Yeah, I was gonna say, and that's some of the thing too, is, you know, with the Star Wars content, a lot of stuff, you know, it's gone on in comic books, it's gone on in books, but, you know, a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people just watch like the TV shows and the movies and stuff like that. I think it would be great of them to adapt some of those things onto the big screen. You know, for the most part, because, like, you know, like me, I read enough comic books. I don't want to have to go out there and add Star Wars to that too, and read some books. Ugh, God, I just want to get on the internet and be entertained. But no, I mean, you're right. Like, the Star Wars content is there. I mean, maybe the writers and producers over at Lucasfilm need to, and Disney, maybe they need to go ahead and look into that. Oh man, that's funny. Let's see. Wookiee Supremacy says, personally, I'd like to see a Star Wars movie where Luke gets to be a Jedi. Yeah, that would certainly be cool. Now, the thing I have to ask you about that, Wookiee, is, are you okay if they made a series about Luke Skywalker without Mark Hamill being Luke Skywalker? You know, if they recast Luke Skywalker to do some of those movies, to say do a Luke Skywalker movie, are you okay with them recasting Luke Skywalker and somebody who probably may not look like Luke Skywalker, that may not look like Mark Hamill? Now, I know everybody's going to rush to, oh, Sebastian Stan, he looks just like Mark Hamill when he was in his younger days. Yeah, he does, kind of. He does resemble him, certainly, but obviously they're probably not going to get Sebastian Stan to do that. It'd be great if they did. It'd be great if they did. But I mean, would you want to see them do a movie or a TV series talking about Luke Skywalker and they recast Luke Skywalker in that role? I mean, would you be accepting of that, and would you want to see that? I'm curious. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it because I don't mind if they, because I understand like Mark Hamill's probably, he's older. He's not in the condition to go out there and do some young Luke Skywalker TV show or movies. But how about you? Are you willing to put up with that if they were to do something like that? I am. Personally, I am. I'm willing to see that if they went and did that. I would be into it. But I agree. It would be nice to see some of Luke being a Jedi. Um, Ryan H, Den of Nerds executive producer. Thank you so much for being here, Ryan. I seen you over there on the Den of Nerds live channel earlier this morning, you and Josh having a good conversation there about Taika Waititi coming into the Star Wars universe even more. I had to leave a little bit early because I had to start the show, but yeah, it was a good conversation you guys were having over there. And if you'd like to, Ryan, hey, if you want to come on the show sometime, let me know, man. We'd be more than happy to have you on. Like I said, tonight I'm going to be doing the Trailer Park Live, which is always fun and always live. Snow Dub Music and Entertainment here says, Jenner, check. Ha ha. Woo! Yeah, what's up, Snow Dub? How are you doing this morning? Looking forward to watching the Ribbit and Bigot show this weekend. Hope you're having a great week, man. Hopefully that's, I believe, is the second job that you took up there. Make some extra funds. I hope that's going well for you, man. Like, I noticed, you kind of backed out on the content because, you know what, hey, man, we got to support our families. And, YouTube's not going to pay us like a full-time job does, man. I understand, man. So I hope everything's going well for you. Can't wait to watch the Ribbit and Bigot show this Saturday. Soy Base Jeremy says, I would like a movie between 2 to 3 and 1 and 2. I'm wondering what you're talking about there. I may have missed some of the conversation here. Soy Base Jeremy says, Snow Dub, how's it going? Seahawks suck ass. Oh no, we're getting some NFL trash talk. I don't really watch NFL anymore, man. I do not watch NFL much anymore. Let's see here. We got more conversation going on here. Oh man, it skipped on me. It jumped on me again. Okay, yeah, guys, and if there's anything in particular you want me to read, make sure that you tag me at Second Street Marvel in there so it kind of highlights it so I can know how to do that because it just jumped on me here again, and I'm going to... Wookiee Supremacy says, Han Solo was funny without actually delivering a joke. Exactly, Wookiee. I know you're preaching to the choir here. We're on the same wavelength here with that. Is like, yeah, he wasn't out there trying to be funny, being comical, sarcastic, or anything. Like, that was just his character. I get you, and I think you get me there as well. Aggressively Relaxing says, I remember when Star Wars opened with a battle, and then we get comedic relief droids. It's like we get it. The audience doesn't understand R2-D2. Is this really the right time for cringy humor? Right, exactly. Hey, and easy with R2-D2. That's my boy right there, man. You my boy R2! I love R2-D2. He's my favorite character out of all this stuff. And let's not forget that we wouldn't even have any of these Star Wars flicks if it wasn't for R2-D2 saving everyone's ass in every single movie, even in the sequel trilogy. Nobody would be around if it wasn't for R2-D2. So you guys all need to go pay your respects to Sir R2-D2. He's the man. He's the man. I don't care. C-3PO. The little, what were those little things? The Ewoks and all that stuff. No. It's all about R2-D2. R2-D2 is the savior of the Star Wars universe, and don't you ever forget that. Him and his little pimp whistle and shit. Yeah, man. Yeah, he's got a little pimp whistle. Social Introvert TV says, that scene was funny, but it was dragging out way too long. Yeah, indeed. I agree. AFK Bard says, this is the difference between someone who is unaware of the humor and someone who is cracking a joke at an inappropriate time. Absolutely agree. Yeah, like, he's not trying to be funny. He just is funny. You know what I mean? Ryan H. Den of Nerds EP says, he'll be fine. It'll be fun. We're in it for fun. I'm in it for fun, but like his brand of humor, I don't feel plays into the Star Wars universe that great. Just kind of like we're all talking about here. But like I said, he is a good director. He's proven himself to be a good director, and I think he can do good with it. But like curb some of that humor that he just wants to interject around every turn. Save that for his particular brand of movies, you know what I mean? Just like we could easily say about Rian Johnson. We could easily say that about J.J. Abrams. Save that for your particular brand of something. Like you're coming in and changing up something that's been long established and things like that. We're used to this, we're used to things being this certain way, so I get it. You know what I mean? Like I get that, but at the same time, I do understand that it's okay to try different things. But for me, just his brand of humor didn't. It seemed off brand for Star Wars. That's how I feel about it more than anything. Um, Listening at work. All right, nice, Snowdub. Good deal. Han Solo is a saint. That reminds me. Dorothy Mantooth is a saint. That's what that reminds me of. Do you guys know who Dorothy Mantooth is? Wookiee Supremacy says, The Last Jedi's mama joke was straight out of the short bus. Oh, yeah. Exactly, yeah, what I was talking about earlier. Certainly. Comics on the Mind says, Happy Friday, Tommy. Yeah. Okay, everybody's still saying what's up. Manta Ray says, Hey, off topic, but where's the recipe for that plate of food you featured the other day? The recipe for that plate of food you feed. Which plate of food that I was showing? Was that my salad? Was that my salad that you were talking about? Careful there, buddy. Careful about the tossing of my salad. um, Where's the recipe for that plate of food you featured the other day? I'm wondering which one you're talking about. It had to be. I'm guessing it had to be the salad. I'm guessing it's just a bunch of vegetables. It's just a big bowl of vegetables slapped together with some avocados on top and some eggs. Toss a little bit of bacon and some chicken on there. Best thing. Hashtag that keto life. I am True Skills, and thank you for being here, Manta Ray. Thank you so much for being here. I Am True Skills says, Hey Trinity, I read that comic Incoming. It was a great book to tie in mostly everything going on with Marvel. That's what I heard. I heard it was pretty much like an ad for a bunch of other Marvel comic books, which in itself doesn't have to necessarily be a bad thing. Some people didn't like it though. Wookiee Supremacy says, at least until she makes that She-Thor movie. I must have missed something here. There about, I'm guessing we're talking about Natalie Portman here. Make sure you hit that like button, says AFK Bard. Yes, guys, make sure you hit the like button if you are here. Greatly appreciate it. Or feel free to hit the dislike. It's all good. I'm not going to be upset if you do. Ryan H says, Did anyone here see Jojo Rabbit? I did not, as a matter of fact, but I have been wanting to see that movie because I like movies like that. I've definitely been wanting to see it, though, Ryan. If you have seen it, I mean, what were your thoughts on it? Did you like it? I've heard a lot of people say it was really good. Comics on the Mind says, at I Am True Skills, I was wondering about the event if it was good. I'm going to have to check it out. Yeah, I think it seems like Incoming was just pretty much kind of like telling about a bunch of different things that are coming up in Marvel Comics, so I don't really know for sure. Tommy says, not Bay, I hate that D. Yeah, man. Comics on the Mind says, Jane Foster is a beast. I have to go back and read that comic series because I know even Aggressively Relaxing was telling me that it was really good and I should go check it out. And certainly I should. I'll hold my reservations on hating or liking something until I've actually read it. I've really only have other people's opinions to go off of. Mostly people who didn't like it, and some people who did. So, it kind of falls there in the middle. Some people did like it, some people didn't. I'll have to check it out. Captain Pennsylvania says, heard it was good. Wookiee Supremacy says, Natalie Portman as Thor is a ridiculous as Arnold playing Mr. Freeze. Alright. I hear you. Comics on the Mind says, chill. Manta Ray says, at Wookiee, she is not replacing Thor. Yeah, no, I don't think she's replacing Thor in the movie. As a matter of fact, at this point, I think a lot of us are kind of leaning towards a theory that there's going to be potentially up to 3 Thors in this movie. Maybe more. I Am True Skill says, I was apprehensive to read it at first, but it wasn't that bad. I think Ever Written in Marvel worked on that book. Oh, every writer in Marvel worked on that book. Okay, I'm guessing we're talking about Incoming again. Yeah, I was going to say, because I think it was all just kind of, it seemed like it was a story, from what I've heard, is tying together all of the, like, a lot of the events that have happened Marvel over in the past, and what's getting ready to come into the future, as far as I know. So I'm not really for sure about that. Wookiee Supremacy says, I like it when stuff blows up. Well, then you'll probably like any Michael Bay film, because that's pretty much what they all are. Max Santiago says, what I like is for Lucasfilm to allow us to have Legends universe be viable. A lot of us are done with Disney, but but the separate EU been provided would at least be a peace offering. Yeah, Max Santiago, I hear you there. I know a lot of people wouldn't want to see, that's my question for a lot of people out there who are into the EU is if you like the EU, would you like and do you trust Disney and Lucasfilm to make that movie at this point? Would you like to see them do EU content? Because I know a lot of people at this point are against Disney or Disney Star Wars. A lot of people are against that, and largely I feel like a lot of people who are into the EU and hold it near and dear to their hearts, I feel like a lot of people would not trust Disney with that and would not want to see that in the Disney universe. But I could be wrong in the Star Wars universe. I could be wrong there. But what do you think about that? Would you like to see them actually do those, and do you trust them to do those EUs and adapt them into the Star Wars universe? Ryan H says, at cap, so worth it. I'm guessing we're talking about Jojo Rabbit here. Not awesome. Aggressively Relaxing says, incoming was Marvel spiking the football after CB Cebulski spent the year building unprecedented connective tissue between the series. Okay. They went in there like, and spiked the ball. I don't think you can do that anymore. It's taunting. It's taunting to spike the ball now. So I think that's just Marvel taunting us. Comics on the Mind says, I'm True Skills. Okay, I have to read it now even more. That's a pretty cool concept. Tommy says, hate Disney with passion. I am unapologetic about it. Hey, and you don't have to apologize to anybody about that, man. We're all entitled to having our own feelings about it. I'm True Skills says, Disney ruined Star Wars. That's largely how a lot of people feel. Wookiee Supremacy says, Soy is an elder of the Council of Jeremy's, Trinity. Oh, okay. Nice. An elder in the Council of Jeremy. We got a Council of Jeremy's now. I love it. Captain Pennsylvania says, I would let Walt Disney adopt me. He will hold me in his lap and read my favorite comics to me. I mean, he's really rich. That's funny, Cap. That's funny. Aggressively Relaxing says, hearing people say Disney messed up Star Wars, so I'm getting into Legends is like someone explaining they are giving up coffee for crack. I'm not giving up my coffee, dang it. I'm not giving it up. Especially not for crack, man. Crack kills. Even butt crack, too, sometimes can kill, too. But you know what I do like is sometimes when you... No. Not going there. Not going there. Not the right show for that. Maybe tonight on the Trailer Park Live. Wookiee Supremacy says, voiceover with Hamill, do it cartoon style. That could work, but even his voice, is kind of older now too, you know what I mean? Like, he's kind of, he's getting a little bit older, and let's face it, our voices do kind of mature with us, so, but, I mean, really, like, as opposed to animated series, I have no problem with animation. I would rather see a TV show, and then, like, I'm not even into TV shows, but I would like to see it done in, like, a format like The Mandalorian was done, if anything. Max Santiago says, no, leave Luke alone, Disney. Lucasfilm hates him. No, and that actually reminds me of something else. When it comes to the EU and all the books that are out there, Disney don't actually own the rights to those, so they would actually have to go out and pay for those rights to the writers who wrote those stories. I believe Timothy Zahn is somebody who wrote a lot of those. They would actually have to go pay royalties to him for using those kind of characters. And I've heard that's a big reason why they haven't decided to do that. And that totally makes sense. But also at the same time, it's not like Disney and Lucasfilm is poor, and they should be able to go out there and pay for those rights to at least use some of those character likenesses and things in the Star Wars universe. I think that is something that they should do. But again, it comes down to, do you trust Disney and Lucasfilm to make EU films at this point, and would you like them to? I honestly feel, like I said earlier, I honestly feel like a lot of people who are into the EU and stuff do not want to see the Star Wars and Lucasfilm, and Disney make those movies at this point because they do not trust them. I could be wrong, but I don't think they're going to satisfy anybody at this point with doing that. Comics on the Mind says, what about Star Wars What Ifs? Luke being raised as a Sith. Ooh, yes, that would be good. Star Wars What Ifs? That would be sweet. That would be pretty sweet. It just jumped on me again here, guys. You guys are being very active today. Again, thank you all so much for being here. Will Gentry is here. Tom's Comic Book Reviews. Thank you all so much for being here. Kevin Street says, "Hi, Second Street. I'm glad I found your channel. Lots of great takes without the doom and gloom I've seen from so many other channels. Keep it up." Thank you, Kevin Street. I greatly appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, like I just like to keep it real. Sometimes, I get highly opinionated and I go off and I start yelling and stuff too and foaming at the mouth. But I still try. Even when I do that, I still try to be rational and stuff. Not trying to be just a dick to be a dick or anything like that. But thank you, Kevin Street. And hey, man, I like that. You're a street too. You're a street. I'm a street. Everybody's a street. Aggressively Relaxing says there's very few of us who have actually read the Legend novels, but we will let you know that is darker place than you movie watchers could dream of. I have read things that would turn your shit white. Oh man. And that's why Aggressively Relaxing is so great. You guys gotta go check out Aggressively Relaxing's channel, man. Aggressively Relaxing is so hilarious. He's got a video he's getting ready to do. He asked me if I would go and do a voice on it, and I want to. I've been wanting to get onto his channel and do a voiceover character for him so bad, and he's giving me the opportunity, and I can't wait to do it. And it's going to be a great one too. The one he's wanting to do, I can't wait. I love the idea, and I'm glad to be a part of that particular video because the one that what he wants to talk about is a series that I absolutely have been loving. And we're going to talk about that tonight on the Trailer Park Live. So make sure that you're subscribed and make sure you have that notifications turned on so then you can see some of that coming tonight. Discovery Bay Comics, thank you so much for being here. Donates $1.99 through Super Chat. Thank you so much. Let's see what he says. Discovery Bay says, thanks, Trinity, for keeping it real. I do my best, man. I do my best. Thank you all so much for being here once again. Aggressively Relaxing, you crack me up, man. Will Gentry is here. Says, you should start a movement. Hashtag R2 is the GOAT. R2 is the GOAT. And yes, maybe you're right. I should push that a little bit more. We need an R2 series. That's what we need. Discovery Bay says, good morning to all. To all my hashtag comic book cousins this fine Friday morning. Good morning to you, JB. And guys, make sure you go check out Discovery Bay Comics. What he does is he promotes a lot of the comic book channels. He'll probably be starting a live show here soon after we end this stream within, I don't know, the next hour or two. It just kind of depends on his timing and things like that. So you guys should make sure you go and check out Discovery Bay Comic Books. I mean, he's like the TV guide for comic book channels here on YouTube. Great guy, great channel. You guys should go check him out. Manta Ray says the one with all the avocados. Oh yes, that was my salad. Pretty much have a salad every day. Doing keto, following the keto diet, you got to keep it high fat. So pretty much what I have is I have this big salad that I have every day. I put these mixed greens in there. I put lettuce. I put tomatoes. I put red, yellow, orange, and green bell peppers on there. Put onions on there. Cucumbers, tomatoes. I don't really do carrots a whole lot. Probably need to do some carrots, but then I top it off with some olives. Sometimes I put cheese on it. I'm not really into cheese on my salads, but then I put some bacon bits on there and some chicken, and then of course got to top it off with the avocados because the avocados are a great way to get for one, some potassium into your diet, but also to increase the fat intake as well if you're doing something like that. Because when I do keto, I like to do it the right way, and that's keeping it all mostly vegetables along with some good healthy proteins. But yes, thank you. For the love of movies, thank you so much for being here, Kobe. I hope you're having a very good day today. Perry Comics, what's up? He says, you have been discovered. How you doing, Perry? Hey, Perry, I was just watching one of your videos today that you dropped, I think, late last night, maybe this morning. Wookiee Supremacy says, I'm Caucasian. Of course I want to see Jojo Rabbit. All us whiteys love anything Hitler, don't you know? Yo, Discovery Base says, yo, Perry, kids are dropped off and it's time to check the garage. Nice. I'm guessing, is that for what's in the box already? Perry Comics says, haha, I need to have someone refill my garage. Oh my god. I'm not even going to get into what kind of innuendo we're talking about here. I'm just going to skip those comments. Aggressively Relaxing says, wait, full stop. Star Wars was not a spectacle? Star Wars. Star Wars? Star Wars? 1979 Star Wars? I'm suing you for having broke my brain just now. Yeah, and I guess what I mean is it's not big in the spectacle like a Michael Bay movie is. That's really what this the sequel trilogy has become is these big Michael Bay movies. Not that they weren't a spectacle, but they were just slowed down, just like nice stories. You know what I mean? They moved at a good pace, and they told us a story. They introduced us to some characters. They built the world really nice here, and it's like ever since J.J. Abrams took over, these last two movies, and then even Rian Johnson's like they're just like they're too big. They're too the pacing is so much. There's so much to take in. It's just like. Even the prequel trilogy did it a little more right. The pacing was a little bit better. We got some stories. We got some good character interactions, though, albeit, some bad dialogue and just things like that. Some really bad. Yeah, they weren't the greatest, but they were still done well. Where the new ones are just so over the top. They're so big and grand scale. It's like, to me, it just doesn't have to be all that. AFK Bard says they already messed up Mara Jade. Again, that's not a character I really know about. When it comes to the Star Wars universe, I'm more of a normie. Just been into the movies my whole life. So, yeah, there's how I am when it comes to that. Fanjexture says Disney Star Wars will outlast us all. Yeah, probably so. Wookiee Supremacy says it's my favorite room in the house. I must have missed something. Dylan's comic book rant says JB. Perry Comics says, yo man, the pyramids in Egypt are the same size as in Mexico. Hashtag aliens are real, man. Yes, they are, man. They are. I believe there's other sentient life forms out there. I really do. I do believe that. Wookiee Supremacy says, dude, the Council of Jeremy's is old school fandom menace. Alright. Well, you know what? Aggressively Relaxing is the godfather of the fandom menace. Go look him up. Comics on the Mind says, making some coffee now. Perry Comics says, yo, Comics on the Mind. Perry Comics says, well, I'm going to drop the kids off at the pool. Yeah, I was going to say, I dropped the kids off at the pool earlier this morning. And then, later I actually took my children to school. Aggressively Relaxing says, I would love Disney septic cleaning. You need a new drain. Mickey laugh. It's going to be $3,000. Yeah, that would be good because that would be a story that they could interject Finn in. Maybe we could get that Finn and Poe ship in there. Sir Nerdalot, thank you so much for being here. They used Thrawn though. Again, I don't really know much about that in Rebels. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know much about that, and they probably paid for some sort of rights with that. I would guess. I think they would. Let's see. Aggressively Relaxing says, R2-D2 is a Mary Sue. Remember when comedic relief droids showed up to Jabba's place making jokes? Hilarious, man. Sir Nerdalot says, my fingers obviously do not work today. Yeah, it happens. There is an R2 series. It is called Droids. Really? I'll have to go check that out. AFK Bart says, at Second Street Marvel, do you eat breakfast before you stream? You're talking about a lot of food. And now I am hungry. No, I don't eat breakfast before stream. No, not really. Wookiee Supremacy says avocado toast is for when your nut sack inserts itself into a vagina. Hey man, my daughter eats avocado toast, man, and she don't. Ugh, come on, man. Perry Comics says, oh yeah, I want to drop more indie reviews. You need to, bruh. You need to, man. Yeah, I love indies. I love my indie books, man. Dark Knight of Thrones says, I'm late. Dark Knight of Thrones says, oh shit, you don't know the gaming channel. Oh shit, you don't know the gaming channel name? It's James. Yes, we know who you are, James. We know who you are. Well, I do anyway. AFK Bart says, I hate to say I enjoyed the first Transformers more than the last two Star Wars movies. Yeah, I hear you. But I didn't even really like that first Star Wars movie or Transformers movie. I didn't like it. Sith Lord says, great shirt, Second Street. Gotta chill with them and Godsmack back in the day. Nice. Yeah, I was gonna say in Seven Dust, they always used to be really active. They'd see him out in the crowds, hanging out, chilling, and talking to people. Definitely, man. And Leijon's such a small dude, man. He's super awesome, and he's so full of energy on stage, man. Love Seven Dust. Absolutely love Seven Dust. Skate for Greatness says, I liked The Last Jedi with the story change up. Like I said, I don't hate The Last Jedi. For me, in The Last Jedi, it does more bad than it does good. But I don't think it's a terrible film. It's not one of my favorites, but I enjoy the movie. I think it's decent. But again, I mean, a lot of people out there don't like it. It's a very divisive film, certainly. Certainly. Dark Knight of Thrones says, my kids gave me some trouble leaving the car this morning. Damn scrapple. Sith Lord says, no more DT characters. Okay. Wookiee Supremacy says, isn't that title reserved for EVS or WCB? Oh, World Class Bullshitters? Which title? Which title? I'm not for sure which title you're talking about there, but I wouldn't know. I don't really watch either of those channels. Occasionally I go check out Ethan Van Sciver because I think the dude's hilarious, but he don't do enough consistent content that I like, so I don't subscribe. But I do like Ethan Van Sciver, and I think he's pretty funny. He cracks me up. And World Class Bullshitters, I don't know that I've really ever watched any of their videos aside from when Jeff Hicks came out talking about just some of the issues that he's having with stealing Solo. That's really all I've ever seen of World Class, so I'm not really for sure. Will Gentry says, R2 is a bit of a Mary Sue to be fair. He seems to be able to do anything the plot needs him to, even fly. Don't you ever call R2. R2's not a Mary Sue. R2 is the effing man, okay? He's the effing man. And he's not even a man, and he's the man. Dark Knight of Thrones says, you don't know English. I don't know English, but I do know American English, and that's got to count for something. And I know Pig Latin. AFK Bart says, make sure you guys subscribe to Second Street Marvel. Well, thank you, AFK Bart. I appreciate that. Sith Lord says, I could do without the entire Disney trilogy personally. Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, I don't dislike it like it all. I mean, it has its downs. It has its ups. I mean, I'm kind of, it's okay. It's okay. Like I said, I really love the original trilogy. That's what I grew up on. I love the original trilogy. The prequels came out, and I remember when they came out, I was in my 20s, I was like, woo, I like them. I like them. They're not the best. Go back and watching them now, I'm like, I could probably pick them apart for what they are, but I think other than that, they're pretty good. I think half a dozen other people consider themselves the grandfather of the Phantom Menace. Oh, the Godfather. Well, a lot of people can consider themselves the Godfather of the Phantom Menace. But Aggressively Relaxing is the actual Godfather. You can go watch his channel. You can go see that he was doing Star Wars hate videos before anybody was. Before anybody came out with a Star Wars hate video, Aggressively Relaxing was doing it. Been doing it since The Empire Strikes Back. Take that. Take that, Jeremy. Take that, Geeks and Gamers. Take that, everybody else that thinks that they're the grandfather of the Phantom Menace. You gotta go check out the real Phantom Menace. Godfather, brother. You gotta go check out Aggressively Relaxing, because that's where you're gonna find the most critical channel of the Star Wars universe. You gotta take it downtown. You gotta come down. You gotta relax. And you gotta be aggressively relaxing, brother. And that's what you're gonna do over on the Aggressively Relaxing channel. You're gonna see all the Star Wars hate unfold right before your very eyes, before there was any of these other fake posers out there in the Star Wars universe. You gotta go check out Aggressively Relaxing, and you can take my word for it, folks. And that's what's gonna do it for our show today. Make sure you all are subscribed to Aggressively Relaxing. Make sure you have those notifications turned on, brother. Make sure you return here tonight on the Second Street Marvel for the Trailer Park Live. That's gonna do it for us. You all have a very good day. Uh-oh, wrong button.